I recognize the member from Peterborough-Kawartha.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I thank the member for bringing this forward. I think it's an excellent motion. It's something that we should very much be concerned about. I'm going to start with a quote from the Deputy Chief of Police from my riding. Over my 34 years of policing, I've seen many cases of people who have been violent towards others, whether domestic or familial abuse or unprovoked assaults upon strangers, carry over to cruel and abusive behaviour towards animals in their care. I've also seen younger people abusive towards their animals move on to be more aggressive towards people. I do believe there's a strong correlation in my own experiences, and I welcome any resources that can help us be proactive to prevent future violent crimes. That's from Tim Farquharson, the Deputy Police Chief for the Peterborough Police Service. I spoke to Jennifer Wilson from the Kawartha Haliburton Children's Aid Society about this, and she said that in her experience they don't have any statistics that they could give me as definitive facts on it, but anecdotally all of their workers see this, that when they go into a home and there is child abuse issues, there typically is animal abuse issues as well. And she's very supportive from the Children's Aid Society of something like this being brought forward, because again, any tools that we can give to the police to help stop future violent crimes are something that is well worth doing. I myself have 2 dogs. I've had a number of pets over the years, and I can't imagine anyone who would abuse one of those animals. They look up to you. It's been said many, many times that nothing loves you more than a dog. A dog loves you more than it loves itself. And I'm baffled by people who would take advantage of things like that. Sean Morey from the Peterborough Humane Society, he and I have had a number of discussions about it. And Peterborough Humane Society has taken some proactive steps for a number of things. And one statistic that he's brought up a number of times is that in Ontario, 59% of women leaving an abusive situation will delay leaving because they fear for the safety of their pets. The Peterborough Humane Society has started a fundraising campaign to help with that. They refer to it as Snoopy's Balls. You can buy Christmas balls for your tree, and all of the funds from it go to provide safe nights for pets of people who are leaving an abusive situation. Because, as he said, 59% of women will delay leaving an abusive situation for fear of the safety of pets. Animal cruelty and mistreatment occurs in 89% of abusive relationships. Research by the Ontario Association of Interval and Transitional Housing demonstrates that there is a direct link between individuals delaying leaving an abusive situation or seeking medical care for fear of losing their pets. Robert Ressler is a serial killer profiler from the FBI, and he has stated murderers very often start out by killing and torturing animals as kids. These are people who never learned as a child that it was wrong to poke out a puppy's eyes. According to a New South Wales police study in Australia, 100% of the sexual homicide offenders that they examined in the course of this study had a documented history of animal cruelty. I recognize that causation and correlation are not the same thing, but if that doesn't demonstrate that deviant behavior starts in one place and will grow if it's left unchecked, I'm not sure what actually would. In the member's speech, she talked about a Netflix documentary and suggested that we all watch it, Don't Mess with Cats. Luca Magnotta is a killer. He has been convicted of that. Unfortunately, he did grow up in Peterborough. That's why I'm bringing him up. He started out with cruelty to kittens, and he posted those videos online, and no one reacted to it. He's now serving time for the murder of June Lin. He didn't just kill June Lin, he dismembered him. He sent 2 body parts to schools in Vancouver, afoot to the Conservative Party of Canada headquarters, and we still have not found Mr. Lin's head. Michigan State University found that there's a correlation that has been established between animal abuse, family violence, and other forms of community violence. And they've also stated murderers who abuse their spouse or children frequently harmed animals in the past. People who abuse animals become dangerous to other people. What this motion will do for us, if passed, is it'll help give some tools to our law enforcement agencies and others who help in this so that they can recognize early on. And it'll give us a tool, a proactive tool, that will help prevent some of that future violent crime. Obviously, I care a great deal about my pets, and I know that many other people do as well. And you can't imagine somebody hurting them. But if we can take that, if we can take what we're learning from this, and we have the ability to fast forward a few years and actually prevent violence against other people, this is something that we should very much look to do. Not just because of the cost of it. It is far cheaper, absolutely. It is far cheaper to intervene early on. But it's the cost to society if we don't intervene early on. We have an opportunity through this to help prevent some of those violent crimes against other people. And I truly hope that we have full support from all members here today to make sure that this passes. Because we have an opportunity here today to prevent harm to someone else. We have an opportunity today to do something that we're probably not going to be able to measure that effect. We're probably not going to be able to say, this person was not harmed because of what we've done. We're going to have to make that leap of faith that when we recognize someone who has harmed an animal, who has been abusive to an animal, and we have stopped it, and we've intervened early on, and they haven't had that opportunity then to do those same things to a human being, we have to take that leap of faith that that is one individual who has not been hurt. That's one individual that their family isn't mourning their loss. That's one individual who's not spending a lifetime in therapy because of it. This is an opportunity to be proactive, to stop those things. And you can't measure that because you don't know who would have been affected. It could have been your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your next-door neighbor. But know that by doing something like this, you're making a positive difference in the lives of so many other people. Amy Fitzgerald from the University of Windsor, bringing it back to Ontario research, has found a strong connection between the abuse of human family members and the treatment of their companion animals. There is so much evidence from so many different studies, not in just one jurisdiction, but across the entire world. I've mentioned Australia, I have mentioned Windsor, I have mentioned the FBI, so all of the United States. I've mentioned Michigan State University. It's universal. It's across the entire world. We're seeing studies coming out that are saying people who start by abusing animals move on to abuse people. It's the training ground for them. Kids who never learn it was wrong to poke out puppies' eyes. That's the comment from Robert Ressler. Kids who never learn it was wrong to poke out a puppy's eye. If you're so heartless that you could do something like that to such an innocent animal, why wouldn't you continue on and escalate it and do it to a person? We have the opportunity today to pass something that may be symbolic to some, but it will definitely help many people. We have an opportunity today to stand up and say, I'm not going to get any votes for it. No one is going to say, you saved my son. No one is going to say, you saved my daughter. But no, if you vote in favor of this, and we do it, we proactively have saved someone's son or someone's daughter. Thank you, Madam Speaker.